Hello everyone, back again to we are back again in our class for today. Here we're going to group them together and then work on them. All the specimens, these are the specimens. We look at them, we find out that all of them they has to do with plants. All of them has to do with plants. The first one is ginger, second onion, leaf of phellum, and then we have cassava stem and tuber. Now there's something I want you to point out. I want to point out here clearly. You find out that one, two, three, and four. All of them have something to do with vegetative propagation. They have to do with vegetative propagation. In terms of the ginger, ginger has underground stem that is normally used, in vegetative propagation. With vegetative propagation are of two types, which we know. In these two types, we have the one we call natural vegetative propagation and what artificial vegetative propagation. A good example of the one that we use in artificial vegetative propagation is this. The cassava stem is artificial, while these other ones, these are natural way of vegetative propagation. What do we mean by this? In vegetative propagation, they don't pass through um, sexual um, sexual reproduction. They don't pass through sexually. That means there's no fission. There's no fission of what gametes. So in this case, in this vegetative reproduction, this three, they are all for what natural vegetative propagation. Now I think we're going to be looking at uh, some of the basic features that make them to be good for that. For the leaf, you find out that you normally have adventitious um, roots ones around the leaves that help it to that promotes the growth. And then this other one, the onions has underground stem, and it also has auxiliary buds in it, which also support the growth. This other bud, the ginger has a set of eyes, or the buds, the buds that is covered with the scales, that's covered within the scales, that also help in the what propagation of this plant. Then for this other one, we will talk about cassava tuber. Mainly cassava tuber is a storage organ, just like the onions leaf serve as what a storage organ. Unlike um, unlike cassava, onions stores sugar, while the cassava stores what starch. So these are some of the things you also note about them. And then we could talk about this, like I told you earlier on. This other one is the leaf, and this other one, all of them have a role to play in what natural vegetative reproduction or propagation. That's the other way around. In the other way around. So this other one is also artificial. Now let's quickly look at some other things we'll be expecting. So this is the drawing of our onion. In this onion, you have the auxiliary bud, you have the terminal bud, you have the fleshy leaf. The fleshy leaf, that's the place, the area that is very fleshy. We have the scale leaf, that is getting to the outer part of it. Then inside the underground here, you find out under here we find out the adventitious roots, um, and then the stem. The stem in this time in the onions is compressed, very compressed and a bit tiny compared to other features of it. So the auxiliary board is always there to, perhaps for any reason, um, to back up. Like, uh, and sometimes I used to say that it's just like an auxiliary nurse that's always there to help when situation is getting out of hand. So just like in the same way, that's just the function of that, to help to back up. Perhaps if there's any kind of termination in this, or the kind of when you is cut off, then continue the growth, just like what we have in other stem, normal stem, that we know in plants that are not underground stems that does not have that step like this, you find out that at a point, once you pull out any of the terminal boards, the auxiliary board that is very close to the leaves will start the process of growth again. So this is the much you can do in this very video. Thank you for coming this far. If you have not subscribed, we encourage you to subscribe. And then we're going to be getting through a good number of them in order to give you some hints, a guide. Do you understand? As our our channel is called what study guide for you, just a guide to help you in order to know how to approach your questions in the exam. Thank you so much.